Sanford is a cute little community. It's got a big heart. It's got a lot of stuff to do. It's got the lake, of course, a huge park right in the dead center of town. It's got walking trails like the rail trail. It's got Veterans Memorial Park. It's got Pine Haven, so a ton of outdoor activities, small enough you can walk down to the hardware, that you can go to the grocery. Just a cute little community.
I would describe Sanford as a community full of the most tenacious individuals you will ever meet. I think of the Founders Day Parade. Of course, Sanford Lake. It is a huge landmark, one that a natural beauty that many within the region choose to come and spend their summers on the beach or out on the water. And so Sanford is a place that's known for its nature and also known for, again, the history that comes with that nature through events like Founders Day and some of the others that celebrate the historical aspects of our community.
Flooding was an annual event in Sanford. As a child, I can remember different areas flooding, like where the ballparks are, different things like that, right south of the dam. And my dad was fire chief from 1947 to 1997, and there was always talk about every time there was floods and heavy rains and things like that, what if the dam fails? And having your dad be the fire chief, you get to hear a lot about what's going on with the flood, so I grew up with it.
Flooding in Sanford is a biannual occurrence. Every spring and every fall it floods, but it is mainly contained to the ballpark. The ballpark in Sanford is where the dam's located, so it would fill up the ballpark and go downstream, but it never really affected the community as a whole. But every year, spring and fall, depending upon the rain, it was a given.
I remember distinctly heading out that morning, May 19th, and I went on a home visit with myself and our Dean of Students, Miss Amy Boxey. We actually traveled up to Beaverton, and by the time we got back, we couldn't even get back across Saginaw Road, right by where the bridge is near the baseball diamonds. And, her and I looked, and she's been a lifelong member of the community. I was in a little bit more of a heightened sense of concern, and she indicated, this isn't abnormal, but to the level that we saw that day, no one could have ever anticipated what was going to happen.
The dams, the watershed going up through that lead into Sanford, which go down the Tittawassee out to the Saginaw Bay then, they started up with Secord Dam in Smallwood, then Edenville, and then the Sanford Dam.
The day before the dam failed, my husband was sleeping and I was listening to the news, and it finally got to the point where alarms started going off on the phone. So that night we grabbed a few things and went to a hotel. Not thinking too much of it, but just to be on the safe side. And then I went home and we packed up a few things, pictures, tax records, not thinking too much of it. Then we got word that the upper dam broke, and we grabbed the dog food bin and the dog and jumped in our cars and bugged out.
As soon as the Edenville Dam failed, we implemented the dam failure plan. There was no hesitation on anybody's part because we knew that Sanford would fail as well. So the timeline was, as soon as we got word, we started executing the plan. And then we knew the water would take, according to the plan, 1 hour and 50 minutes to 2 hours to reach Sanford. But part of the plan was to shut down US 10 and get traffic rerouted as soon as possible.
Our main concern was what we were going to come back to. We got a credit card, we can get a hotel room, we're out, we're safe, but what the potential damage of the dam failure was going to be, again, we thought that maybe we'd get a couple feet of water and be cutting out drywall and replacing carpet, but we never imagined what we came home to.
The staff at Meridian Public Schools was insistent that they weren't going to sit idle or wait for the organizations to come in, that we needed to do something immediately. And so cohesively, they set up a distribution flyer that they were going to publish within their own communities to seek donations. That propelled really a sequence of events that transformed Meridian Elementary School from an academic setting to a crisis response center for months. And we began contacting individuals who could help with those efforts.
Just about every way in and out of Sanford had been shut off. The US 10 bridge was damaged. The westbound lane, the eastbound lane remained shut down until they could be inspected. The bridge over the Tittabawassee River on Meridian Road was shut down because of damage. To get from the west side of the lake, where we were at Station 1, to the east side of the lake, was about an hour and a half drive. You had to go way up around Houghton Lake and back around, come down through Bay City and come in that way. So travel was just about impossible.
Our home looked like somebody came through and just shook it like a snow globe. Refrigerators were completely toppled over. Dressers were on top of beds. It just literally, the whole entire house was flipped. We had to use snow shovels to shovel the mud out to even make paths to get in to see if anything was salvageable, because you were stuck up to your mid-calf in mud. We did have a lot of volunteers come by and want to help. There were a lot of people who could save a lot of stuff because they didn't have as much damage as us, but when it came down to it, we turned a lot of people away because their efforts would have been greater trying to clean out other people's houses and even get it to the road, where we knew ours was going to have to be demoed. Years before, Sanford Dam had been worked on and fixed. And then the dams up in Edenville, it was known that there was issues. I believe it was the year before the water levels were dropped because they needed to work on some stuff. And then the water levels got brought back up, and there was still trying to figure out the repairs. So we knew that there was repairs that were needed to be done. I don't think anybody really realized what the magnitude of the repairs or what the consequences really would have been.
Personally, I'm amazed how much has happened in 2.5 years. I've seen other areas around the country in my travels where they've had natural disasters and they never come back. Just about all the businesses that were impacted are back open again. Sanford has come an amazing long ways. We're fortunate to have the leadership we do in this area, or it wouldn't happen.
When you look at the response that we saw within this community, really attests to the passion and the tenacity of the individuals that live here within Sanford. Words can't even express the gratitude I have for the individuals themselves that have continued now for 3 years to help ensure that the Village of Sanford and the individuals within the Sanford community can continue to celebrate what it means to be a member of the Village of Sanford.